differently today. Kiana Sage here for the Being in Sync 366 video series. This is Ross saying hello. Hello everybody. More joy. See, I'm gonna wait here 5 minutes to see who joins in. And I'm going to do a question before we get started. And the question is, do you know your personal levels of growth? Because there's more than one. Okay. Let's see if this is going to send out notifications. Oh, hey, Sadnam. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for letting me know you're here with the beautiful prayers. That's so nice of you. I love that. Ra's here. Go lay down. More joy today. Today we're talking about levels of growth. Can you hear me okay, Satnam? See if people are joining on. Today's probably going to be a short video. Today has been one of those days, you know, where you wake up and you could feel a little bit of stress and you're like, what is going on here? Hello, let me know if you're here. Go lay down. Okay. So I woke up. I've been making smoothies for Smoothie for Life, which is on here. I've been making that for the last, gosh, I think it took me about 3 hours to make a series of smoothies, and I put them in the freezer, and right now I'm drinking Smoothie for Life every 3 days on, 3 days off. So I prepare. And then, but just to watch all the vegetables. Hey, Mr. Andy. Good to see you. I'm on a little bit earlier today. We'll see if we have somebody that jumps on to help in the mod. Just waiting here 5 minutes before we start our topic on, hey, Kevin, I'm not your mom. Okay. Just seeing who's going to join on here. We do not have a modification, so the comments tend to be kind of nutty when we don't have a mod. So there's lots of bots. We're not talking about how to pick up girls today. We're talking about your levels of growth, and we're going to start talking about that topic in 2 minutes when we have people on here. Give to everybody time for their notifications who have been following this series. This is the Being in Sync 366 video series. And I come on here every day, regardless of what's said in the chat, and I share topics that are applicable to being in alignment with the natural laws, to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. My name is Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace through alignment within. So any personal questions? What type of personal, spiritual, physical? Kelly, I do it all. You know, it's all connected, and that's what we are going to be talking about today, is alignment, right? Alignment within, and there are different ways to align. There are many paths to God, but all of them are about becoming more aligned within. And this is not about religion. I don't talk about religion here. I only talk about the natural laws, which is actually how energy flows. Energy flows in patterns, and I help people identify patterns and realign. That's what I do. Today's topic is going to be about, I'm just going to see if we're at 5 minutes here. Yes, we're at 5 minutes here. So I'm going to start the topic today. So the topic is going to be short and sweet today. The topic is all about growth. Do you know your personal levels of growth? And here's how to identify it. Let me see. We have about 31. I'll wait until we get to about 50. So if you go in there and do the survey, that would be great. Anybody that posts anything disrespectful will be deleted. So don't mind the chat. I can't read the chat and do a coherent stream of thought at the same time. So I'm just going to talk about growth right now. So levels of growth are always going to be associated and directly associated with going out of your comfort zone. So how much pain, how much discomfort is your threshold for moving out of your comfort zone? However, your levels of growth could trump that if you were focused on growth. But most people are so focused on getting out of pain that they don't focus on the growth, and therefore their threshold for more pain is far greater than those who are focused on a growth and evolution of their soul and their spirit perspective. So for example, let's just say, I'm just going to tell you a story of somebody who had really good friends. They were very good friends, and they had developed what they thought was a solid friendship, visited on the holidays, exchanged holiday gifts, went to birthday parties. You know, they were friends. What all of them, I say, consider friends, until one of them decided they didn't want to continue to be friends in the same way, which means they weren't going to tolerate their poor behavior like they had from the very beginning, because in the beginning it didn't bother them until it did. And then they decided they didn't want to continue being friends in that particular way. Like, we could still be friends, but we're not going to do this activity anymore together. We could do it in this way. We could do it over here. We could do it over there. We can be friends, but we cannot be friends in the same way that we've been. And the moment that somebody wants the patterns to change, the people who don't want to change, that want to keep the control, are going to directly are going to directly influence the person who wants to change. And they're going to say, well, you're wrong. And then that's when the gaslighting starts, right? But the one who decides that they want a different type of healthier relationship, once you make that change and you decide, like, this is not happening anymore for me, and you make that delineation, and then you try to compensate by not letting it bother you while you're still in relationship with this friend, and they haven't changed, and it keeps on going and it keeps on going, and then you decide, hey, oh, actually, I'm just going to say my truth in this position. Sorry, I have my dog in here. Sorry, I have my dog in here. And then you go and you say, no more. This isn't going to happen. You set that boundary. You're very respectful. You take full responsibility. Hey, no name. Good to see you're back. You take full responsibility for the conversation, the situation. You just say, no, thank you. I'm not going to be joining this one anymore. And then they get mad, and then they gaslight you, and then you decide, oh, it's okay. It is what it is. You accept what it is. You learn from it. Yes, it might bother you, but you learn from it. from it. And then guess what happens? You open up this whole new world of opportunities that can now come forward. That couldn't, hey Michelle, good to see you. That couldn't come forward with you holding on to keeping the relationship as it's been. So the moment you are willing to focus on your growth over the discomforts and pains and the suppressing and oppressing of your feelings and your wants and desires, then you really start to go into your fullness of confidence and clarity and knowingness. You can't do that when you're compromising your beliefs. You can't do that when you're compromising your personal sovereignty. So this is really about focusing on growing, focusing on where you want to go. And are these friends, which by the way, these were really good friends, they're no longer friends anymore. They no more text messages, no more phone calls, no more invites. You're out. So now you see where you really stood. You only are friends if you are in alignment with their beliefs, in alignment with what they want and desire. So that's not really a friendship, okay? So the truth always comes out when you are aligned to your truth. So, hey Sailor's Life, good to see you. Okay. No name, I gotta put you out. I thought you were here before, but no, we're not talking in politics on here. Okay, so the whole key here is about focusing on your growth. Don't focus on what your discomfort is. If you have friends in your life and they cannot manage to stay in your frequency and vibration when you're in your truth, that has played itself out and now you get to evolve. So you have to be willing to grow and change and evolve. And I would say that's probably one of the hardest things about the spiritual journey is because people don't like to let go of their old friends. They don't like that they don't get along with everybody anymore and that they don't fit in because you think different. When you go into alignment with who you truly are, people don't resonate with you the same. It's just the truth of growth. And now you have to meet new people who have different values and they're not around control. Because when you're in your personal power, you cannot be controlled. So the question that I asked, let's see if we have enough. We have 91 votes here. Do you know your, oh, good for you all. You all know your personal levels of growth. 70-30. So the vast majority of you know your personal levels of growth. So what I would ask all of you is to consider, can you amp it up by like 10% more? What would be required for you to do that? I don't have a moderator today, so bear with me on this chat. I'm just going to do the best I can. So ante up your progress in your, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I've got multiple things going on. Can you make me one if you like? I don't know what you guys are doing here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and see. The question was, do you know your levels of growth? And what I was suggesting is that you begin to stretch that. Because if you know your levels of growth, then you know that you are usually playing it safe and or strategizing your growth. And if you want to grow exponentially, you're going to want to grow in other areas as well. So you want to look at your physical life, your career, you want to look at your relationships, you want to look at your finances, and you want to look at your community. Look at all those different areas and ask yourself this question: how can I grow more in this area and stretch myself out of my comfort zone? So let's see. Any tips? No. I'm just going to see if there's any questions about the topic here. It seems on the weekends, India, you guys are more on your chats than you normally are. The type of growth, personal, spiritual, and physical. All growth, Kelly, is connected. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. They're not isolated. They're all connected. They go from core to core to core to core if you're in alignment. If you're misaligned, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to have problems in some area, and the area that shows up the most is going to be where you're the weakest. But everybody pretty much is getting attacked in the physical realm. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So let's see. No, the natural laws doesn't go against anything. It's just not attached to a dogma like Catholicism, like a religion. The natural laws are the truth. It's quantum. It's about energy. It's how actually things work in the physical that most people aren't aware of. Okay. Stubbsy says, I prefer you with your glasses. Oh, thanks. Thank you, thank you. Good to see you all. Let's see. Hey, Zeal, good to see you here. I saw a couple, recently people die in the gym. Everything that is happening in residence. So if you are resonating with seeing a lot of death, you're going to see a lot of death. You just want to, it's not about weightlifting, it's not about gyms, it's about what you're seeing. So you could go to the gym and see one person, two people die, but you're also going to see a lot of people working out. So where are you focusing your attention? Hey, Michelle, good to see you here. Lots of messages being here for review. That means, and no, I'm not looking for a content creator. Sailor's Life, how are you doing today? The comment section is a lot of spam, so I just look for the diamonds in the rough here. Diamonds, okay. Pisces is saying, don't focus on discomfort, focus on growth or how to improve. Well, I think if more people had a growth perspective, and I would say even people that think that they are proficient in growth, they don't really challenge themselves. They don't ask themselves questions. They don't go out of their comfort zone. So it's really important to get in the practice of measuring yourself and see how are you changing? How are you evolving? Because otherwise you will get stagnant or feel stagnant, and most people will report it as being stuck, but you're never stuck. You're never really actually stuck because energy just repeats patterns. And so if you understand that, it's really about changing your patterns, and are you adjusting and changing enough? I mean, I make a practice of it. I'm doing it every single day. I'm not the same today as I was last week, because of the things that I do, both energetically and physically. I'm constantly looking to evolve, and I want to get better. I want to feel better. I want to know better. I want to know more. I have areas that I want to know more information about, like biology and physiology and quantum biology. And those are things that not the average person can care less about. That's stuff that interests me. Zeal, there's so many spam in here I can't see. It must have gotten held. Loneliness is a power. You just need to understand this only. Loneliness is a perception. It's not even a power. It's a perception. Okay, let's see. Looks like lots of things are getting... The chat is crazy in here. It really is crazy. There's 130 people on here, and the chat is just insane. What is the reason behind self-criticism comparison, which feels like I'm a failure? Well, competition is a whole limiting perspective. So the reason behind self-criticism, in my opinion, is that you don't have a clear perspective. And your perspective that you're looking at things is from a limited perspective instead of an expanded perspective. Growth is an expanded perspective. Competition is limited. It's closed. So you want to look for open system ways of thinking, open system ways of being, open systems. That's going to help you really thrive. Okay. Fearless King 86. Can you give me tips on how to grow? Yeah, have good, high quality questions that you ask yourself every day. Okay, Sailor's Life, I just saw your thing. That would be amazing. I'm going to put you as a moderator. If you don't mind, let me see. Okay, Sailor's Life. Delete away. And time out away if you don't mind. Thank you so much for being here, Sailor's Life, and chiming in. So the question is, how can you grow? What are tips for growth? Tips for growth are, number one, you don't need to go into the educational system, but you do need to ask high quality, open-ended questions. That's number one. Number two, if you're more advanced, you need to go to a more advanced resource and start asking questions. And the questions that you should be asking should have that person that you're asking lead you back to yourself. You have all the answers. Nobody outside of yourself really is the answer to your prayers. You really just need tools to put in your tool bag. So you should be working with people like me or others who help you become your own healer. That's number one. Number one is open-ended questions. Number two is work with somebody that's going to help lead you back to yourself and ask different kinds of questions that make you stronger. The other thing that you want to do is really do an assessment of your life. Really do a clear assessment of your life and career, finances, relationships. I have a circle for life. If you send me an email, I'll send you a thing. And it's just subjective. It's just you and you, right? It's just you, yourself, and I. And you just literally on a scale of 0 to 10, you see where you're at, and then you see your whole life in this little circle of life, and then you decide, okay, where am I going to focus my attention? Because you can't do it all, but you can do a lot of it. So let's see. Hopefully that helps. Those are some quick tips. Lokesh, good to see you. I am paralyzed by too many things in life. How do I prioritize? I used to do a prioritization. I am not a high fan of 1, 2, 3s. What I would suggest, Lokesh, because it sounds like you are overwhelmed. So when you're overwhelmed, you want to do a brain dump of everything that you have in your mind that you think needs to get done. Write it all down. Then once you have it all written down, take a time out, go do something else, come back, see if everything's on there. If not, make more additions. Now look at it with fresh eyes, look at the same sheet, and now you want to prioritize it A, B, C, D, E, F, right? You're going to have a multi-level prioritization. A's are urgent, B's are not urgent but important. C's are not urgent or important, but they're still significant. And D's need to be delegated or could wait. E's need to be eliminated. They're not getting done because you're focusing. Now that you have everything A, B, C, D, E, F, E. A, B, 3, it's through E. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Those are the 5 categories. A, B, C, D, E. A, again, is urgent. B is significantly important, but not. C is significant. D is delegate. E is eliminate. Okay? So you prioritize that. Then you prioritize all the A's. A1, A2, see which one is important. A3, A4, B5, B6, and then you have a multi-level prioritization. Try that out, Lokesh, and see if that helps. I need to exercise again, Pisces says, getting gallbladder surgery. I would definitely look at all your other options and see if that is really required. And definitely, Pisces, ask to see your blood test, your test on your gallbladder. Make sure you indeed need that surgery. I have seen that some people don't necessarily need that. I've heard from clients, more than one, that have had their gallbladder removed. But you are the judge of you. You are the owner of you. You want to definitely make sure you're looking at your labs. That's what I'll say about that. Shane, good to see you here. Where are you from, Shane? I already answered the question, what is behind self-criticism? It's a limiting perspective. Okay, I'm going to put that on time out because that has been asked so many times. Okay, Pisces. Yes, I agree. No politics. Toby is saying there's no such thing as spiritual. Well, you're going to find out the hard way then, Toby. Because denial does not mean it's not true. Mark my words. Yes, Pisces, it's hard to see with all the spam. Hello, Cairo. My name is Marcus. Okay. I hope you have a great day. Toby, no, I do not do drugs. And those are just ridiculous questions. Like, why even waste my time with something so silly? Okay, hello, India. Hello, India is loud and proud today. I don't talk about politics here because that is a distraction. On Kush. All right. Somebody. Can spiritual ascension, you always ask good questions. On Kush, thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your thoughtfulness and your questions. I so appreciate them every single day. I look forward to it. Okay. Can spiritual ascension inherently fortify physical, mental, and emotional dimensions, or must each be cultivated in isolation? Well, I would say nothing is done in isolation. Everything influences another. That is the quantum field. There is no pattern that is not influenced by another pattern. We all are influenced. So I would say that the path to ascension, the path on ascension. So ascension, for those of you who do not know, is the strengthening and alignment to higher levels of consciousness in a nutshell. And it does help to fortify meaning strengthen, physical, mental, and emotional bodies. However, the level of dimension in which you are accessing is going to be based on your consciousness. So that will be based on how many vulnerabilities you have. So on Kush, I actually work different in that I look for the vulnerabilities in the bodies to address and strengthen. So I kind of do it backwards, just because that's how I learned, because I had so many vulnerabilities with myself personally. But I just find it easier that way. That's just how I learned. But I don't think that I think that the path on ascension will essentially, when you're accessing and vibrating with higher levels of consciousness, you will become stronger. So I guess I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to disagree in the dimensions, because dimensions are, from my perspective, are accesses of information, right? It's just the quality of information changes as you go up. They're not separate. They are all related. So I don't know. Does that answer your question? That was a good question, but I'm not sure I answered it. Thank you, Sailors Live, for being here. Thank you for helping. Just gonna see. I don't even know where I'm at in the chat. Anything political, Sailors Life, you can delete. Because that's not what we're about here. We're about alignment. Today's topic is about growth and knowing how to expand beyond your limits, your levels of growth. And at the beginning, I talked about a story where somebody was really close friends with somebody, and then they were friends until they spoke their truth about what they wanted to do, and that they wanted to continue being friends, but not playing the same way. And now they're no longer friends. Yes, I am different than yesterday too. Zeal, my brother studies in university. He's at second year. His classmate passed away at the age of 40. Cause of death was hypertension. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know, Zeal. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know, but either way, I'm sorry that your brother is mourning the loss of his friend. 40 is quite young, but as you have seen in the media, there is a lot of people who are dying young. Salvo, good to see you. Hello. Is today your day off? Let's see. Hello, April from Massachusetts. Good to see you here. PC, I am good. Zeal, I am the youngest in my family. Yes. What's the science of desperate men? Hi, Norman. Good to see you. Norman from Ireland, right? Okay, y'all. Scotland. Okay, the one says yes. You have a good A, B to C. Very good call. A, B, C, D, E. Because the D is delegate, the E is eliminate. Norman says, Kiana, I wish you could come to Scotland to sort out my family. Hey, I do work with families, Norman. Thank you for asking. And I do it online. So I do it via phone call or video. So I work with couples and families all the time. You change one person in a family, it changes the entire ripple. Hello, Elliot is saying, Kiana is my best friend. We're besties for life. All right. Well, I need some good friends, that's for sure. In terms of English knowledge, you are great. Okay. Thank you for that qualification. Today's topic, Zeal, is about knowing your levels of growth. And if your levels of pain are more of your focus, then you will have a higher threshold for pain. So people who tend to suppress things or oppress themselves, their own personal sovereignty, their own personal decisions, they will be focused more on status quo, everybody just getting along, rather than bucking the system and aligning with their truth. Emmanuel, good for you. Grand rising to everybody. Grand rising. Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Love it. Pisces is saying, I've had a gallbladder and stomach empty test, CT, and ultrasound. I need it. I have a biology degree and my family is in healthcare. Well, you're in the system. When you're in the system, it's hard to see outside the system, but I'm sorry to hear that your gallbladder is acting up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Dr. Crankin, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm growing. The channel is growing slowly. This channel is all about the natural laws, spiritual alignment, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, adjusting the patterns and aligning to a new way of being. That is not for everybody. Not that all the average folks are not really interested in this type of thing. And, but maybe one day they will. And there's a whole resource here in the Being in Sync 366 video series, which I have been doing every day this year. And we're in the 30s, folks. We only have 30 plus days left in the year, and this series will be done. Okay. I can't even say your name because it's so ridiculous. If you want to hear more about spiritual stuff, ask a good question. Can we attain the same mental sharpness at 20 at any age? Well, I think that would determine on your belief system, because if you have a belief system that's tied into a system of ageism, that's tied into some of the social programming, that would be quite challenging because it goes against what you've been taught. Oh, so the one is saying you are basically Gandhi. Not quite at all. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? I absolutely believe in Christ consciousness. I do not believe in the Bible. That is the truth. Emmanuel is saying, y'all can ascend if you desire, but I'm here to transcend. Yes. Yes, let's transcend. But you ascend before you transcend, usually. But you can transcend many things. Okay. I have some friends that in the spiritual community that think they're transcending, but they're actually in denial. So how do you reconcile delusion in the spiritual community? There is a lot of it. There is a lot of delusion. No, I'm not live on multiple, just here. Norman, yes, red. More joy. When I wear this shirt, usually things are pretty feisty when I wear this shirt. I don't know why. Something about joy seems to trigger the hell out of people. And I'm here for it, I'm here for it. Oh, hey, Oliver. It's good to see you here. Thanks for helping out. Jerry. Oh, you're in Spain, in Barcelona. All right, good for you. Jerry, glad to see you're living the good life, watching soccer. Scotland. I got it. Scotland. Thanks, Norman. I want to get it straight. Laxman says, you are the best in the world. You are a very good heart, and I respect you more than anything. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. What are your life regrets which a teenager must avoid? Well, that's very interesting. I don't have any regrets. I mean, do I have any regrets? I don't really think I have any regrets. In fact, before I turned 30, I made a conscious decision to not live with regrets at all and start taking more risks. But when I was 16, I made a decision as well. So I made conscious decisions all since I was younger, which I would do things that made me scared, and I would just do them to become stronger, and that worked. So I don't have a lot of regrets that I can even think of right now. So teenagers should avoid following their friends, following the masses. They should avoid drugs and alcohol, and have fun. I think if I had any regret, it would be like I should have had more fun. I was always a very serious kid. Okay. Norman, Kiana. What did you say, Norman? I lost it. Oliver Sailor's life is helping today. No, I'm not single. I'm married. What is my qualifications? You can go look at my qualifications online at my website, kiana.com. I have all kinds of qualifications. I don't know what you're looking for, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not an MD. I'm not a therapist. I'm not any of those things that are traditional. I do not buy into traditional dogmas. I'm good today. Thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm good today. A little bit tired. I've been making my smoothie for life all morning, and it was very exhausting. Norman is saying Kiana is a good friend. Thank you, Norman. It's good to have friends in good places like Scotland. Okay, we have Sri Lanka in the house. Zeal is saying if you truly want success in life, then you should stop procrastinating. Okay. Zeal, you should have your own channel. Got a lot of advice. What is the biggest moral you would give teenagers close to 20? Moral? Believe in God. Develop your own personal relationship with God. That would be the one piece of advice that I would give to young people. Don't necessarily have to go to church. You don't have to follow religion, but you can develop a direct relationship with God through your heart. Never close your heart. You want to stay closely tethered to your heart. That is the key to a life fulfilled, is keeping your heart open. How can you handle depression or anxiety? PN is asking. Well, I think I have a couple videos on here about both depression and anxiety. But those can be quite complex, or they can be, quite easy to adjust. Just depends how chronic you are. But in general, people who are depressed or anxious are focused outside of themselves. So you want to focus internally and you want to strengthen your nervous system. So if you have depression or anxiety, chances are your nervous system is off the rails, meaning you don't have any, you're not controlling it. And you are the commander of your vessel. And if you're not commanding it, you will be influenced by outside entities. Zeal says, I'm on cloud 9 that your channel is growing. Thank you. That's sweet. I'm just here for the Bean and Sing 366 video series, not paid, just here every single day, completely, totally devoted to sharing about the natural laws and about alignment, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment, and just really committed to this series and being in service to humanity in a way where people can have an outlet to learn that's non-threatening and also supportive. I'm not a doctor, but I do care. So however you want to take that. Yes, I have a business. I do things that I don't talk about on here in my business because, I did notice when I started really talking about things, it was actually brought to my attention that I started to get blocked in the algorithm. So I'm trying to be cautious on how I'm speaking. Okay, on Kush is saying thank you. I truly appreciate how you consistently delve into meaningful topics every day. It's both inspiring and enriching for me in so many levels. Your insights make a real difference. Oh, thank you so much for the beautiful comment. I'm going to pin that one because I'm going to take a picture of it actually. Because today was one of those days that I was tired and I was like, I don't want to go online. What am I going to say? I just want it to be meaningful. And, I think, 70% of you in here have said that your levels of growth. Then how are you challenging them? How are you growing beyond your levels? That's what you want to level up. How do you level up? You must go out of your comfort zone. I consider you to be a great sister. I respect you more than everything. Whoa, thanks. Thank you. I used to be a professor. I used to teach a master's in leadership and the PhD programs at some of those colleges in San Diego. I did online for a little bit, did not enjoy it. And then I decided that I made more money consulting than I did in the educational system, which I'm not really a fan of anyways. It's too bureaucratic for me, and I am, me, I speak my truth, and that's not really always welcome as a professor. And I have taught all kinds of people, police officers, admirals, captains, Army, civilians, NASA. Gosh, I worked a lot with very analytical people because I'm analytical. And analytical people tend to really like my approach. It's very direct. Not everybody likes direct. So that's why I don't do any marketing, because marketers can't even figure out how to say anything about what I do. They really just can't get it. And I'm not paying somebody because everything is about resonance anyways. Okay, just looking for questions about the topic of growth and leveling up. Hey, Cole, Texas. Cole's from Texas. It's good to see Texas in here. I don't know what gives you more joy. Jay, I think that is probably not a very appropriate comment. Zeal is saying, how often do you get sad vibes? Well, I would say one of the things I mentioned at dinner last night when I was thinking about this Being in Sync 366 video series, because I have to tell y'all, I never ever imagined I would be online every single day and doing videos live in my sweats, in my gym clothes, in my work clothes, just coming back from a massage, just so committed to this series. And one of the things that I realized is I have a lot more good days than I do bad days. And I don't get sad I really love life and I love learning. So if I feel sad or irritated or triggered, I really go into inquiry to learn what's happening. What is that about? I have one of my best friends that's transitioning right now, and you guys have seen me well up about her. I'm not sad that she's dying as much as I'm so sad that she suffered so greatly. But Sadness is not a bad thing. I don't really get sad or stay sad because I feel my feelings. I think that's one thing that I'm very proficient at is feeling my feelings. And I look for them. Okay. Kissa. Hello, Indonesia. Hello, NC. Okay. Zeal is saying, I really like that you have a skill to become a real professional. That's almost an insult. I don't want to be a therapist. You think I don't want to be a part of the system. I'm trying to disentangle from the system, not go into it. I help people without therapy. You know, you don't need to talk about a trauma to heal a trauma. And I think that's really what therapy is, part of a system that if people looked really deeply at it would be very uncomfortable. There's a lot of truths that have yet to come out. Hi, Mick. Mick, don't argue with the chat. Okay, Oliver is deleting, and so is Sailor's Life. I always get dominated by people through their conscious verbal attacks. I did a whole video on psychic attacks, but you're talking about verbal attacks. I go blank. Can you tell me? Okay, well, Rakesh is saying that they get verbally attacked. Well, that's a resonance. Being attacked is a resonance, right? So you want to go out of agreement with that. So when you get attacked verbally and you go blank, you're basically having a trauma response or reaction. So you need to address the trauma and get your voice. And you can't get your voice if you're disconnecting. So I would say connect with your heart, which when you're in shock and being verbally attacked is quite difficult to do. But you want to go into your heart. And then once you're in your heart, take a breath. Take 2 breaths or 3 breaths and then say, it is not okay to speak to me that way. When you are ready to talk normally, we can have a conversation, and then you remove yourself from the situation. That's what I would say. Of course, I don't have your personal information here. This is just based on the chat. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. I'm not on TikTok. No. I mostly post here on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Zeal is saying you're really skillful and you have so much potential. Thank you. I do have so much potential. One day they'll see me for who I am. Okay. Hi. Somebody else is in Barcelona. I'm experienced and pretty alternative life, not based on doing exactly what people would do. And it's adventure trying to understand people. Every mind has its secrets. Well, secrets make you sick. Eiffel, secrets will make you sick. Alicia, how can I collaborate with you? Nice. Good to see you here. Zeal's saying, yes, being sad is a feeling, and once in a while is pretty much says that you are human and shows that your heart is not dead. Oh, it's not dead. I live based on my heart. Death is just another facet of life. Yes, it is inevitable. It is inevitable, and our perceptions of death are really not just our perceptions, but our beliefs about death really need to be challenged. I did a whole live on death and dying a couple months ago. It's in this series, Being in Sync 366. If you guys are new here, I come on here every day for this video series, and I talk about a different topic in alignment with the natural laws, in alignment with practices that bring you into alignment physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in alignment with God, sovereign, freedom, source energy, creator, however you look at energy, whatever you want to call it. That's what I do here. So put your notifications on if you're new and signed on. Do I believe aliens exist? Yes. We are not the only people or only beings in this entire universe. In this universe, and there's more than one universe. So, like, come on. That's a silly question. Hey, Mike. Good to see you back here. How are you doing? Hey, Mick, the topic is on leveling up and growth. That's really the topic. And I started with a poll question, which is, do you know your growth levels? And then 70% of the people in the chat said yes, so about 90 people that answered that question. And then my next question was, like, how are you leveling up? Like, do you know how to? And then I gave some suggestions on how to level up. And now I'm just in the chat seeing what's going on. Jay is saying, I believe that we're in the pinnacle of creation in this universe is rather arrogant. Arrogant. What you're saying, Jay, is that people are stuck in their ego mind because they don't know how to get out of it. And that's a lot of programming going on. It's not to be, it's not so much about arrogance so much as ignorance. And ignorance really is not bliss. And I wrote this the other day in my meditation. The truth is actually healing, but people think the truth hurts. The truth doesn't hurt. The illusion that you had that was true, that you thought was true, that was a lie, that's what hurt you, not the truth. Yeah, Eiffel saying I stand my grounds. Okay. Ankash. Missing, I know I'm missing the painting too. I'm in the other room now. Thank you, Ankush. In any way you can help me to dive deeper into my problem. I'm dealing with early childhood because of your knowledge. Help me with the root of the problem. I don't know the roots of your problem. I would suspect it's a trauma that has not been healed. And so looking for a way or your path to healing would be helpful. I think the biggest, most significant thing that people can do to heal themselves is learn how to process emotions. Because when the ego is overactive and people are in their mind so much trying to figure things out, their emotions get stifled. So really learn how to process your emotions. That would be the number one thing I would say. Mick, thank you for leveling up every day. I believe where I wasn't always doing so. So, yeah, thank God, Mick. Thank God. Yeah, you got to literally challenge yourself every day. What did I learn today? What am I focusing on? Where do I want to grow? Like, you must every day ask yourself questions. I have my core values right here on my wall. Every day I see my core values to align to them. Not only are they like dictating my path forward, but you want to embody your values. You don't want them to be words on a piece of paper, but you want to embody them. It hurts. Zeal says, how does it feel when you stub your toe against the wall? It definitely is not a pleasant moment. Rakesh says a lot of unprocessed trauma and a basic issue in my life. So start by processing your emotions. Learn a technique to process your emotions, a technique that you like and that you resonate with, that you could do every single day. And if you took time to really address your emotions every day, then you wouldn't be so overwhelmed and it wouldn't be an issue because you would become a master of your own emotions, and you should be. Who else is going to manage that? Nobody. Nobody outside yourself can manage that. Eiffel is saying, I believe even though I thought a stain my ex-girlfriend left on my soul, well, that is called learning, right? That's soul awareness. So that relationship was so strong and powerful and painful for you that there are soul lessons that you need to learn from that relationship. And once you learn those lessons from that relationship, Eiffel, you will let it go. Hi, Matt. Good to see you here. You need help? All right, I've gotten through all of the messages, and we're just at an hour here. Okay. Thank you so much, Sailor's Life and Oliver. How do I take my mind off of my dad that just told me I will never make it? I'm heartbroken and everyone in the world makes me feel. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Gabby, but I'm one of those people that you can't tell me what I'm going to be or not going to be. So I wouldn't really put too much weight that your father probably doesn't know who you really are. And so I would not spend any more time thinking about what he said and focus on who you want to become. Who do you want to be? And you can spend time being sad and heartbroken and really process your emotions about it. But, just because he's your dad doesn't mean that he's not flawed and that they don't say things that are ridiculous. And my father did. I can't even believe the things that came out of my dad's mouth. And when I was strong enough, I think I was like 15 when I told my dad he wasn't allowed to talk to me like that. And that conversation, that was a pivotal conversation. And I've always stood up for myself. Do not allow people to walk all over you. They cannot do that unless you go into agreement with them. I'm not mad at my dad. He didn't know any better. Your dad doesn't know any better. Who cares? Move on. He's not defining you. You define you. How are you defining you? Okay, Quaz saying people should offer prayers to Creator, not creation. This emphasizes the importance of worshiping the one who is supreme and all-powerful rather than focusing on what has been created. Interesting distinction here, but everybody prays to whoever they want. I'm not telling people who they should or should not pray to. You all are not my clients. You are not paying me. I'm just talking that there's many paths to God. And I know a lot of people have because there's so much Antichrist energy out there, there's such a repulsion to certain terms like Christ consciousness and unity and, so I don't want to trigger people. What our language has been hijacked, so let's not really spend time. Everybody's got their own path. I think Elon Musk, I don't think a lot about Elon. How about that? Do I think Elon, I don't think about Mars. And I don't think about Elon Musk. I just wish that these tyrant leaders who are billionaires didn't have as much power as they seem to have. All right, Michelle, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I don't have any comments on the Illuminati. Okay, Muggle says Muggle is still believing the science. Powerful Sun, hey, good to see you. Well, y'all, I've been on here for an hour. I think I've talked about leveling up. Really, if you're interested, you could shoot me an email for the Circle of Life. And if you're interested in the decision-making process, I have a sheet for that. But that's it for today. Logic and reason. Curious. What do you think your logic and reason is based on? I think you're basing on critical thinking. Yes, everybody can be overwhelmed. Nobody is omitted from being overwhelmed. Since then, as above, so below, even found my magic and use it. Good for you. Everyone's got inner talent. Yes. Eiffel, now you're speaking here. Love it. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go. You have a great day. I just want to take time to say thank you to Oliver and Sailor's Life for coming on here and modding on this Saturday. This chat was crazy today. So thank you, Sailor's Life, for helping out. And I hope you have a great day. Let me know how things are going with you all. And if you want those things, shoot me an email. Have an awesome day. I'm Kiana Sage. I guide people to peace. I'll be here tomorrow for another Being in Sync 366 video series. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.